My child, imagine the vastness of space, where silence reigns and the stars burn cold and distant. A human engineer named Alex floated in the maintenance corridor of the Orion Space Station. The hum of life support systems, the only sound. Today was meant to be routine, checking air filtration and running diagnostics, but the day had other plans. Alarms suddenly blared through the station, red lights painting every surface in an urgent warning. Alex's heart skipped, and every training drill suddenly became real. The station had suffered a catastrophic systems failure. Oxygen levels were dropping, and the navigation systems were offline. The crew, scattered in different modules, were in immediate danger. Alex's hands moved quickly, remembering every step from training, though training never prepared anyone for this magnitude. Panels sparked, wires hung loose, and floating tools drifted past in weightless arcs. The station's artificial gravity had failed. The very floor beneath them was no longer certain. Crew members were shouting across the modules, their voices echoing strangely in the cabin. Panic hovered, but Alex forced calm. Survival required focus, ingenuity, and speed. In the command module, Commander Rhea tried to stabilize communications with Earth, but the interference was relentless. Alex, can you reach the main oxygen control? We can't hold out much longer. Her voice was a lifeline. Alex nodded, though the commander couldn't see it, and floated toward the central control bay. Wires and cables whipped in every direction as if the station had become alive, a chaotic entity trying to throw them off balance. Alex clutched a toolbox and improvised a tether with duct tape and Velcro straps, anchoring themselves against the wall. Every step was calculated. A miscalculation could send them careening into machinery at dangerous speeds. In zero gravity, the simplest actions became monumental. Turning a screw or cutting a cable required pushing off a wall just right, or using your body to counterbalance. Alex's mind raced through solutions. They remembered how in training, small objects could be used to create leverage, but now, survival depended on improvisation with whatever was floating nearby. A flashlight, a wrench, and even a dining tray could become essential tools. Alex's eyes scanned the area, calculating how every object could serve purpose. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew were in modules struggling to maintain life support manually. Engineers and scientists alike were out of their element. Spacesuit gloves made precision impossible. Alex called out, giving instructions, turning chaos into coordination. Tie the hoses together with cable ties. Use the vent flaps to redirect airflow. Even in this dire moment, Alex's voice became a guiding beacon, anchoring the crew emotionally as well as technically. The central oxygen hub was locked behind a security panel now short-circuited. Alex floated in front of it, trying to recall the wiring schematic from memory. Sparks flew as they improvised a connection with a metal strip from the toolbox and insulated wires from a storage locker. The improvised circuit hummed with energy. The aliens observing through a research drone couldn't comprehend the human method. They had technology far beyond Earth, yet here a human used nothing more than creativity and quick thinking to manipulate machines that should have been impossible to fix without specialized tools. Alex's hands moved with purpose, guided by instinct as much as knowledge. The circuit sparked again, and the oxygen valve clicked. A hiss of renewed airflow filled the cabin, a sound so mundane yet so miraculous in the situation. Crew members gasped, floating in relief as the oxygen levels stabilized slowly. Alex allowed themselves a brief smile, then moved on. There was still the navigation system, still the power cores, still the threat of debris collisions outside. One crisis at a time, one improvisation at a time. Using a combination of duct tape, cable ties, and floating objects, Alex began to stabilize the navigation system. Panels that seemed dead were coaxed back to life. The station's AI, usually efficient and unflappable, had shut down from the overload, but Alex's makeshift solutions compensated. A broken tablet became a manual interface. A kitchen spatula was adapted as a lever. The aliens, silently observing, sent pulses of data back to their ship, puzzled at how a species with limited resources could demonstrate such problem-solving. Alex worked tirelessly, sweat slipping off their brow even in zero gravity, focusing on connecting circuits, rerouting power, and securing modules from floating debris. Outside the station, a meteor shower was approaching, the kind that could tear through the hull if unprepared. Commander Rhea issued urgent orders to seal off vulnerable sections. Alex quickly calculated how to use floating cargo crates to reinforce weak spots. It was not elegant, but it was effective. Every action mattered. Every second counted. Crew members, guided by Alex, worked in unison, a ballet of human ingenuity and cooperation. Each improvised solution kept them alive, each action a testament to the human ability to adapt. The aliens had never witnessed such improvisation. Their technology, vast and precise, relied on pre-programmed systems and redundancy. Humans, by contrast, thrived in uncertainty, bending rules and materials to their will. Through a series of hand signals and floating gestures, Alex coordinated with the crew to stabilize power distribution. Lights flickered, then returned. Life support hummed steadily. The navigation module responded to commands, slowly rotating the station into a safer orbit. Finally, Alex turned to check the crew. Faces were pale, but smiling. Relief was palpable. Commander Rhea floated toward Alex, eyes wide with gratitude. "You've done it," she said, voice thick with emotion. "We're going to make it." Alex simply nodded, exhausted but triumphant. The aliens had witnessed a human capability that no technology could replicate. The power of improvisation under pressure, creativity born from necessity, and calm in the eye of chaos. Outside the observation windows, the stars continued to burn cold and indifferent, but inside the Orion Space Station, life had been preserved. Alex took a deep breath, allowing themselves a moment to float freely, unbound by tethers or cables. They had turned everyday objects into tools of survival, improvisation into a lifeline. Crew members laughed softly, releasing the tension they had carried for hours. The aliens' pulses flickered again, this time in patterns that seemed almost reverent. Alex had not just saved the crew. They had left an impression on beings who measured efficiency and perfection, creativity, resourcefulness, and courage. These were the qualities that defined humanity in the vast, silent expanse of space. Later, as emergency systems hummed steadily, Alex walked, or floated, through the station, checking each module. Small repairs were made with improvised tools. Wires were taped, panels secured. Every corner of the station carried signs of the improvisation that had saved them. The crew began documenting the events for training purposes, but Alex knew that no simulation could ever replicate the sheer unpredictability of a real crisis. This was human adaptability in its purest form. The aliens remained near the observation port, watching quietly, absorbing the human method. For them, it was a lesson in resilience. Technology alone could not prepare for every contingency. They would record, analyze, and perhaps even adopt some methods, though nothing could replace the spark of creativity born in desperation. Alex glanced at them briefly, offering a small wave, and floated back to the command module. There was work to be done, but for now, survival had been ensured. Alex's mind already turned to the next challenge, the next improvisation, because in space, certainty was a luxury no one could afford. By the time communication with Earth stabilized, the crew had fully regained control of the station. Reports of the crisis were sent, detailing how a human engineer had used ingenuity and improvisation to avert disaster. The aliens recorded every moment, their data streams buzzing with information that would later become analysis of human resilience. Alex, still floating in the maintenance bay, allowed themselves a brief smile. In zero gravity, with nothing but tools, tape, and determination, they had become a hero. The stars continued their silent vigil outside the station's windows, and Alex knew this was just one of many challenges humanity would face among them. Yet in this moment, one human's resourcefulness had not only saved lives but inspired wonder. improvisation, courage, and the calm heart of a problem solver. The traits that defined Alex shone brighter than any star in the void. The crew floated together, alive and grateful, while outside the aliens recorded quietly, forever changed by what they had witnessed. Humanity, in all its messy, unpredictable brilliance, had left a mark in the cold expanse of space.